I'm TarotOracle, and this is moon phases as it relates to tarots, obviously, and oracles. It's interesting we only have 8 moon phases, yet they have so much meaning as you see them in different types of cards. So here for the moon, for example, obviously, we have a different one that is going to be than the High Priestess, which may be differently than the Eight of Cups, Two of Swords, etc. We have moons everywhere, especially once you get the variety of tarot decks available and start fiddling with them. You'll see quite a lot of different things that could be represented and additional meanings in the cards that we use every day. So let's look at the 8 phases. We got the new moon, where everything just kind of starts. Crescent first quarter, Gibbous full moon, Disseminating last quarter, and Balsamic vinegar. No, Balsamic moon. Anyway, these 8 phases represent the different types of moons that you are going to see, both in astrology and tarot. So let's break these down and see what kind of good stuff we can come up with here. First thing we have is going to be the new moon. This is sort of the classic, right? Along with the full moon, the new moon is very classic. It means something new. It means when we're spontaneous, we're having dreams. This is the time to sort of institute new dreams or come up with ideas where things we haven't done before, things that just excite us, things that make us passionate, something new, a clean slate. We have had maybe some miscommunication. Maybe we're in Mercury retrograde. Everybody just misunderstood us. We seem to be just hitting a wall no matter where we go. New moon is a clean slate. It's a clean slate at work. It's a clean slate with relationships. It feels like there's a lot of opportunities now here with this new moon that just wasn't here before. And that's kind of important, right? Because it is about our spontaneity. We want something different. We want something fun. We want to extend out and get some new stuff going. Now, the bottom, some references say be careful of new projects. Basically meaning it's not the time to start something huge and complicated. This is more of an idea generation. This is more of a clean slate, okay? We have a white canvas. What do we want to paint on it, right? We don't want to go into some heavy detail paint. Right now we're in the idea phase. What do we want to paint on that? Now the next is the Crescent Moon. This is where we literally start the planning. New moon was the idea generation. It was creating something out of our mind, getting our imagination and just being spontaneous, fun creation mechanism. Crescent moons, let's start planning, okay? What does that canvas take? What kind of paint do we need? How are we going to do it? Let's draw out on the canvas what we're going to do. And that's part of this just cranking up the car at this point. You're starting the car. You put the key in, you're starting the car, you're pressing the button in whatever car you got. And the Crescent Moon is starting that car. And it's time to institute some courage as well. Maybe our last project failed. Maybe the last thing failed. We have courage. This is almost like a strength card. We have courage to move on at this point. Again, we got a clean slate, last phase. Now, a few weeks have passed. It's time to move forward. It's time to start planning. It's time to draw out what we want on this canvas known as work, as relationships, as business, as project. This is the time to figure out exactly what we're doing. And you look at the Crescent Moon, which I believe here is in the moon, right? If you turn it at an angle, it sort of looks like it. I'm going with this for now. This is kind of where we're at with the moon card. The lobster, crab, whatever, is coming out of the water. He's heading towards land, and he has a lot of planning to do. He has a lot of moving forward to do as well. This is very key, right? He has a little cheerleading section over there with the dog and the wolf. They're excited. He's got the 2 pillars to cross and what have you. This is sort of a time where it does take courage. We've been in the water this whole time. Now we're on land. It does take courage. It does take moving forward. It does take a little bit of, courage as it goes. And the Crescent Moon could also maybe be in the 2 of Swords. Future planning, maybe. A little bit of courage, close body language there, moving forward and whatnot. 2 different worlds of the 2 of Swords. Now here's where we're coming at it at a 45-degree angle, right? We're doing a call to action over here. First quarter. This is a time we've done the full moon, we've done the new moon, clean slate. we have our future, we have our canvas, okay? We planned it out. This is the colors we're going to use on the canvas. This is the stuff we're going to do. Now it's a call to action. Now is the time to commit to that canvas, commit to the project, commit to our goals of what we're doing, how we're doing it. Because at some point you have to commit. You have to get that call to action. You have to literally start full motion moving, right? Again, we started the car over here, and then now we pretty much are getting the car rolling. We're backing out of the driveway. We're starting forward, right? This is a call to action. I don't really think at this point you can just back out. You have to have the commitment. You have to know where you're going, how we're going to get there, and what to focus on in that. That is the first quarter. And we have the Gibbous Moon. This is about organizing and planning, right? All right. So we're drawing. We have the canvas. We got our colors down. We mapped it out, and we're painting, and now we're sort of organizing things. Okay. I mean, this piece of the painting needs to go over here, and this house is going to look better over here. We need to put some shading over there. It's time to stay on course. But at the same time, what do we need to do to make any adjustments, right? Because maybe this painting is looking a little awkward, or maybe the project is looking a little awkward. It's going a little awkward. And we need to make some adjustments right now. This is the time to do it. This is the time. Staying on course is fine. I mean, we're staying on the road, but we may need to make a fork in the road, make a little adjustments here and there to get where we need to go. This is a time to sort of reevaluate what we're doing, how we're doing it, right? Organize, plan, and get ready for the next phase and get ready for the next thing. Because you can't just go in blind, right? You can't just go in blind. You can't just say, all right, this is a painting I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my brain off, and I'm just going to finish it. This doesn't work. You have to make small adjustments as you go. And this is the time to do that. The Gibbous Moon, right? Organizing, planning, putting things where they belong, staying on the course, and making sure that whatever adjustments need to be made, they don't toss us off the course. Now, here's the part that everybody knows, the full moon. It's a time of forgiveness. It's a time of illumination. This is the most light we're going to get out of the moon. This is literally like a full moon is illuminating what we have. So when you see this in a card, this can function, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This can function kind of like the sun as far as illumination goes, because this is a very bright moon. And a full moon is an awkward time as well. A full moon has all sorts of interesting things associated with it. But it is time to look at results. Where are we? We stayed on course. We did the plan. We did the organization. We got the clean slate. We put everything down. We've been going forward. We've had the courage. I'm looking for results at the full moon stage. I really am, right? And it's time for forgiveness as well. What mistakes have we made along the way? And how can we perfect those? How can we fix those? We've already made some adjustments. That's fine, but we've made some mistakes along this path. And the illumination has lit those up. We understand what happened, how it happened, and how we need to fix it. Okay? It's very important here. So it's time to forgive ourselves and time to forgive other people as well. Forgiveness is a big factor here with the full moon. And all the other things that are associated with the full moon as well. Full moon has no shortage of things that are associated with this. Now, is this the one in the moon card in the Light Seers Tarot, or is that a new moon? I don't know. I probably should get the book and read before I made the video. But let's assume it's a full moon for now. If it's not, I'm sure all of you will correct me in the comments. So it's sort of an interesting thing there, right? So we're in the water here. It's an interesting aspect. We're in the water here. It is about illuminating, because you can see the illumination from the moon going into the water. So I'm assuming it's full. The illumination is definitely there. Getting the results, getting the perfection, etc., etc. So you can look for this in cards. And of course, the full moon is everywhere, all sorts of things associated with it and whatnot. Let's go with the Disseminating Moon. This is time for sharing information, relaxing, breathing, and, don't start anything new at this point, right? Disseminating, kind of rounding out a little bit. We got Disseminating, we got Last Quarter, and Balsamic. So, Balsamic we're wrapping up literally. But right now, it's time to share information. What have we learned? What have we learned in this path? How can we associate that with other people? How can we talk to other people and share this? Share our learning process. Share what we've learned. Share our process with that. It's also time to take a break. Relax and breathe, right? We've been on the course. We've done a lot of work. We have just sort of pulsed through this thing. And at this point, just relax and take a break. It's time to take a break. Grab some popcorn, grab a soda, whatever you need. Relax and breathe. You definitely don't want to be starting new things in a disseminating moon. That should be way back after the idea generation of the new moon. But yeah, relax and breathe. Share what you've learned. Look at what we've learned and see what has transpired to this point, right? The disseminating thing. We got the seventh phase, the last quarter. It's time to reevaluate. Okay, painting's almost done. What can we do at this point? What can we correct? Where are we? How can we we're wrapping up in the next one in the balsamic. How can we do what we need to do here, right? This is about the crossroads. We've hit the crossroads. We need to figure out which way to go. We need to eliminate anything that's not doing us any good. So if it's not doing you any good, why are you keeping it around? Do an 8 of Cups on it. Abandon it, right? Do a 10 of Swords on it. Cut it out. 3 of Swords. Cut it out. It's also time to trust. It's time to reevaluate what we've learned, reevaluate what we're doing, and trust in the plan, trust in the process, right? Maybe trust other people as well. So, the crossroads, we need to figure out which direction that's going to be the best thing and eliminate anything that's not doing us any good. Because we have a lot of things just hanging out. We have a lot of things that are, dragging us down, wasting our time. You want to sort of get rid of those at this point. And the Balsamic Moon, of course, is the last one. Wrapping up. This is it. This is phase 8. We're kind of wrapping up here. All right? Painting's done. We need to varnish it. The project's done. We need to maybe move on to the next project, figure out what is next, kind of wrap up, clean up, And it's also time to tie up loose ends. What do we have here that needs to be finished? Okay, what do we have here that needs to be finished? Do we need any more highlighting on the trees? Do we need any more reflectiveness in the water of our painting, right? Time to tie up any loose ends. Is there anybody that was affected by this project or by this event or whatever that you need to tie up the loose ends with? So this could involve other people because other people may be in this process. And it's time for healing and a closure, right? We're closing up. We got in the car, we started, we backed off, we made our trip. Now it's time to park. It's time to park, turn off the car, right? Turn off the car. It's time to closure. What do we need to do that's still open? Top those loose ends, close it out, make sure everybody understands this is a closed thing. And at some point we need to heal. If we've had any injuries, if we've had any things that have drastically affected us or dramatically affected us in the negative, we need to close those out. We need to heal those, right? And surrender. Let the painting finish itself, right? You've finished everything that you've done. Let the painting finish itself at this point and let it sort of dry out and everything else. So that is the phase 8, the Balsamic Moon as it goes. The Balsamic Moon, we're wrapping up top loose ends, closure. You see this in the High Priestess at the very bottom there, right? She is about healing. And she is about wrapping it up, closing and whatnot. So you do have her between the two pillars. You do have sort of the surrender aspect of that. But you see that at the very bottom. Could that be the Balsamic Moon? Maybe. Could we have the Balsamic Moon on the left side of the 8 of Cups? This person's definitely looking for closure. This person's definitely trying to heal from the abandonment of the 8 of Cups. And, of course, they are, sort of wrapping things up. They're going down that road and whatnot. So very, very important to sort of notice this in the cards, figure out what the card has and sort of add our extra meaning as it is. So this is kind of fun, right? You get a little action with the moon phases. Now you kind of have a little bit more meaning within your cards, whatever deck that you're using, whether it be oracles or tarot. And there you go. Please hit like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the moon phases and how they relate to tarot. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time.